Hey, welcome back to Horse Racing Today with myself, HRT Rich, and of course, we have Terry on this terrific trifecta Tuesday at Parx. Sorry for the late delay there, late start, folks. A little bit of late scratches sending me back to the drawing board, scrambling to get things correct right before the curtains come up. All right, Terry. So nice day for you yesterday. You hit your pick of the day.
I did.
$10 or something like that, and you had $18 on that bad boy.
Yeah, 10.20 it paid. So yeah, I was really happy with that. It saved my bacon, give me back about $97. So
and yeah, that's always good.
Yeah, in the last 3 days, I think it's been that I've been on the show. Two of my first picks, best pick of the day have won, and one paid over $13, and this one paid over 10. So that's pretty nice.
And hopefully we can continue that trend today. I was fortunately I managed to get the early pick 4, but missed out on that late pick 4.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
so that's the way it goes. I would like to have a little bit higher prices in there, but pretty close to break even on the day. So hopefully we have a better day today at Parx. Not close to break even, but above break even. That's the goal of the show. $100 budget. Today we're going to start off in race number 1, like we should. That's where we go for race number 1 at Parx. Only 2 tracks running today, folks. Parx and Mahoning Valley off of the New Year's Day. All the Michigan fans are happy. All the Texas fans probably a little bit upset with the officiating and some bad fumbles, some bad turnovers. But now we get back to life. The holidays are over, and let's roll.
Yeah, well, this is 1 mile and 70 yards. It's a $12,500 claiming race with a purse of $23,000 for 4-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 2 races.
Yes, and a profile of a 1 mile and 70 winner at the outside of Philadelphia track. 1 mile, 70 yards, early speed does good. 28% of the time they do well enough to get to the front and stay there. Small rail bonus for Florianopolis. Boy, I was worried about that one. And then everything else plays fair. We do 1,000 simulations, Terry, using speed figures to create our own odds. Our goal is to find simulation odds that are lower than post-time odds. Using those 1,000 simulations, we also calculate what percent of the time in our simulations the horse runs a speed figure above par. In this case, 82 is the par figure, or the average winning speed figure. You see there, the 7 and the 8 qualify in that regard. We also want to see who has the best chance to get to the lead. So 1,000 simulations using early pace. And then based upon our projected pace, C-zone or comfort zone, how likely the horse is to get a trip that mirrors its best races. Terry, what do you see in the data early on?
Well, that 9 horse has the most speed, followed by that with the 8 and the 5. The 7 has an overlay of I missed here. 7 has an over, of about 6 to 5 to 6 to 1, and the 8 has an overlay of about almost 3 to 1 to 6 to 1. The par numbers 7 and 8 are the only 2 that have par numbers, and all of them, but the 3 and 7 have C-zone numbers.
So I started on the day before New Year's, and the last one we did Gulfstream Park. I've been recording the data since we added some of these new things. And, I'm finding a lot of times, a lot of the top sim odds or top C-zone, or when we come over here, we look at our race shape, we're finding a lot of top pace horses or those at the top that do well. Race shape here, 3 that want to be in the front, 2 that want to be in the back, everybody in the middle. So I'd probably want to be here or here. Less traffic in all likelihood. Early on, as far as the early speed is concerned, Max Foster, the one we saw in the simulations, should be the pace setter. Terry, though, it's got a lot of horses on the inside to clear. So it might have to work a little harder than it wants to get to that lead. As they turn around the stretch to come home, the 8 horse, Hasten Thence, also a front runner type, should be close to the pace. Most late speed, along with the closer, King Swanborough. Our total pace horse, you got 3 of them, Terry, that are a little bit better than the rest, or maybe 4. The 5, the 7, the 8, and the 9. That quartet maybe for an exacta trifecta box. Terry, what say you?
I like that 9 horse Max Foster. He won his last race at Aqueduct, so I think this is a track downgrade grade. Has a trainer who wins 19% of the races when shipping a horse in. And then Take Me to the Moon to 2 is my second choice, finishing the money in 4 of his last 4 races. He won 2 of those races, has a high percentage winning jockey who in the last 7 days has been in the money 6 out of 10 times winning 3 of those, 2 seconds and a third. Inspector, the 3 is my third pick. He finished 5th in his last race as a favorite, but he has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 30% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again, switches to a high percentage jockey, and the jockey trainer combination in the last 14 days have won 2 out of 2 starts. Marvelous Moon Dance defies my long shot. He has a highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best dirt speed is close to the average speed, winning speed. And then $1 daily double for me, 239 with a 147.
I'll go quick because they're lining up. Hasten Thence, top last race speed figure for the 8, going to drop in class in here today, showing more late race enthusiasm. King Swansboro, also a class dropper. Last 2 probably good enough to win this race. Marvelous Moon Dance, the horse is trending in the right direction. Adding distance and a class drop will help today. And then Max Foster could be your pace setter in here, Terry, on the track drop. Right now, it looks like the 3 horse in here. Inspector is your favorite at 3-1. That one's coming all the way down from 12-1 odds there, Terry. Must be doing something at the track to gather everybody's attention. The 9 horse is the second favorite right now at 3-1. Looks like the 8 horse, Hasten Thence, is next in line at 5-1. So a very good betting race to open the card today. And I feel like a lot of the card today will be contentious at Parx as I was going through it. A lot of pretty evenly matched horses today. Very few I felt that were stand out above the rest. And they're off and running in the opener. Everybody getting off to a good break, Terry. As we kind of thought, the 9 horse would be the quickest out of the gate, but does have all that speed to the inside. It's going to make it difficult for that horse to get to the front. He's probably going to be, subject to an objection already, perhaps squeezing the 8 a little bit, and then also the 7 a little bit. You got the 5, the 2, 5, 7, and 9 competing for the lead. The 8 horse now has taken over. Boy, that one got bet down hard, Terry, at the end. 8-5. Sitting, I think, in like the catbird seat right now. Got good cover. Guys up front going a little bit on the quick side, 23-2. The 9 horse running 3 wide all the way across the track. Could make it a difficult trip. Pretty big gap back then to the 5 horse, Marvelous Moon Dance. The opening quarter in 23-2. Got a whole bunch of them packed up behind Marvelous Moon Dance. Right now, it looks like the 1 horse, Florinopolis, holding up the rear. They slowed down a little bit in the second half. They ran 48-3. The 9 horse is still trailing that 7 horse there, Terry. 7. The 8 horse now is moving aggressively. You got a bunch of them coming like trucks at the end here, Terry. You got the 5 horse, it looks like, and then the 9 horse is just backed out of the race. The 8 horse is up on the lead right now. You have the 8, the 7, the 5, the 6, and the 4, it looks like right now. So the 8 horse is taking command. It looks like to me it's going to go 8, 7, and then the 4 horse is going to screw up my trifecta unless the 5 horse can somehow maintain its position. But I'm going to need that 7 to hold on, Terry, as it's starting to fade a little bit. But it's going to go 8, 7, and then 5 in the opener. 8, 7, 5. In my book, that is an ice cold trifecta, Terry.
Congratulations. That's pretty good.
Well, the 8 horse went off as the favorite. Well, that one got bet down to 9-5 at the end. That 7 horse went off at 12-1, and the 5 horse at 9-1. So maybe I can get back half my budget on the first race today. That would be nice.
It would be, yeah. Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what we have over here. Horse racing today at Parx. You got a whole bunch of picks there for Kais Fossey. Go ahead and photocopy those or screenshot those and play along with Kais as well. And follow him over on his Facebook site, right, Kais? Is that what they can do to follow you on your Facebook site? Where are you, on Turkey? Is that where you're located, my man? Let us know in the comment section. And if, like Kais, you have some picks, and if I'm mispronouncing that, forgive me. That's our phonetic way of putting those letters together. All right, Terry, let's move on to race number 2 and see if we can have some luck in the opening pick 4.
All right, this is a 5.5 furlongs. It's a maiden claiming race, $10,000 claiming price with $19,000 purse for maidens 4-year-olds and upward.
Yes, indeed. And at 5.5 furlongs, as you might suspect, at the Philadelphia track, speed does pretty good. Those stalkers do their fair share of work as well. But 44% of the time, horses that get to the lead go straight into the winner's circle. There is a very strong inside 3 bias, Terry. 4 through 7, they get penalized, and then 8 and out, a bonus again. So be inside, be outside, don't be in the middle. What is that song? Here I am stuck in the middle with you. Remember that song? Don't be those guys. Be on the inside with speed or the outside with speed, and it looks like most of the speed is to the inside.
That's right. That 2, 3, and 5 show the most speed. And then the 1 is a nice little overlay from about 8 to 5 or 6 to 5 to 9 to 2. The 10 has a note overlay of almost 6 to 1 to 8 to 1. Par numbers, the 4, 7, and 10 have par numbers that are pretty decent, and also the 7. And then 6 and 1 have the most or the best season numbers.
Yeah, if you kind of look in here too, there's a lot of green dots everywhere. So if you use those greens to make your picks, it looks like an open race in this respect. Our race setup, race shape, Terry, you got the 2, the 4, and the 8 over here. It looks like if you're an even number horse minus the 6. So far, those guys haven't been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line. So maybe you can put an X through those. Tough to tell. Otherwise, pretty balanced race. Maybe a little bit of an edge to the speed because most everybody wants to fade or meet middle back. So you're going to play some speed. Mob Justice looks like it could be the quickest of them. 5 horse, a closer, Brass Monkey right there. The what was that name of that band again? God, I can't remember. You got to fight for your right. The Party of Beastie Boys, right? Brass Monkey.
Beastie Boys, yeah.
Yes, indeed. That's a left arrow horse there, Terry. So closer with enough early speed to put it in contention early on. Late speed belongs to the 1, the Bear or the Bull, the pressure horse, going to be right there in the mix. It should be right where it wants to be, Terry. If you look at your top total pace horse, Terry, the 1 horse, Bear or Bull, scoring 6 points, so 1 length clear of the rest of the field. Terry, we both think that's the one that will get the job done.
That's right. This late closing horse, Bear or Bull, finished 3rd versus similar his last race as a favorite. As a high percentage winning trainer, wins 24% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. And this post is winning at a 20% clip. Lots of mischief. The 4 is my second choice, drops in class today. Has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 32% of the time when taking a horse down 30 or 2+ classes. And his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. The trainer-jockey combination last 14 days have been in the money. 4 out of 5 starts with 2 wins, 2 seconds. 7 is my 3rd pick, finished 3rd versus similar in his last race. Has the highest speed figure rating, last race speed figure. Has a high percentage winning trainer, and this trainer wins 26% of the races and maiden claiming races he has a horse competing in. And then the 3 is my long shot, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Going to bet a 50-cent pick 4, 147 with the 2, 4, 5, 7 with the 2, 3, and then finish up with a 4, 10.
If you like what you see, folks, kindly hit the like button on Facebook and on YouTube. It helps us with their algorithms. Thank you, Derek Hayward, for that. We appreciate it. If you haven't done so yet, it's 2024. Good New Year's resolution. If you watch a show that you like, and you're going to love this show, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. We would like to, our goal for the year would be to get to 10,000. That's the ultimate goal. We're about halfway there. So help us out. Hit that like button. Tell your friends about us by hitting the share button on YouTube and putting it on your social sites as well. That would be greatly appreciated. Or retweet us on Twitter if you're watching that. However it is that you're tuning in, please share with other folks who would like to win. We like to win too. I like the 1 horse, Terry. I think it'll win as well. Bear or Bull. This horse, Terry, has the top par plus number, as you see here, 43% chance to go above par for this level, which is 71. The horse also has the top total pace by 6 points. We saw that over here. That's about a 1-length winner. Does have that big rail edge that you talked about and has plenty of back speed. So maybe this horse pulls up towards the front right from the jump. Valesky, that 7 horse, Terry, your 3rd pick, my 2nd pick, ran the top last race speed figure last time out, was 4 points clear of the next closest horse. Again, if you watch us before, you know that Andrew Beyer in his book about speed figures says if you find a horse that runs 3 points clear of the next closest one, to strongly consider putting that one into your picks. And being on a fast track is the key for this guy. 3 races, 1 second, 2 thirds. Lots of mischief. That's something Terry brings to the show. Biggest class dropper in the field and does have a solid workout between races. And As I go through my race notes, I do see that comment over and over. Class drop maintenance work, class drop maintenance work for winners. Brass Monkey, the Beastie Boy horse in there, is a track and a class dropper. This one's been off since July. The back class is solid, good enough to win, but the trainer, Terry, he's run 50 horses out there. You know how many more wins he has than you and I?
0.
0 for 50. So maybe the horse is a Tom horse, finishes second or third, but maybe not your winner. And if it'd be a great way for the start the year after going 0 for 50 last year, right?
Yep.
Get the first W out of the way. I'm going to do a pick 4, 1, 4, 5, 7 with the 1, 2, 4, 7, 2, 3, 9, 10. So a little bit of the, I don't know, a hot dog with some relish type, even though I don't put relish on my hot dog. Do you put ketchup on your hot dog, Terry?
No.
No. So Chicago, if you put ketchup on your hot dog, it's blasphemy.
Yeah, I don't care much for ketchup.
So it's just the ketchup that you don't like, not necessarily putting it on hot dogs.
Yeah, I don't put ketchup on anything really.
Yeah, in Chicago, if you go into the wrong like old time hot dog place and you ask for ketchup on it, they'll like throw the ketchup packets at you. They won't put it on for you. So, yeah, you're a heretic. Anyway, go ahead. What's going on with race number 3?
It's a mile race. It's an optional claiming race, a $25,000 claiming price with a purse of $26,000 for 4-year-olds and upward, which have started for $25,000 or less, which have never won 2 races, or a claiming price of $25,000 and which have never won 2 races.
In case you didn't catch that the first time. Optional claiming 25 grand. You see, we use the Brisness sheets, and you can see here that Big Boy's answer is not in for a price. Let's see if anybody is today, Terry. Maybe not, so we won't be able to. Doesn't look like any. Yeah, here you go. This one is in here. If you wanted to buy Dance a Dinny, that's the one that is available. You see the 25 grand listed there. That's how you know who's in for a price. It took me for a long time to figure that out, Terry.
That's
At
right.
1 mile on the Parx track, you're looking at horses with early speed. 35% of the time, if you get to the lead, you stay on the lead and you cross that line first. You have a post position 1 through 7. They play fair. If you wear 8 and out, you get a little bit of penalized, Terry. So don't be on the outside in race number 3. It's not a concern. Looks like pretty much every horse except for the 6 has a chance to get to the front.
Yeah, you're right about that. Most of them do. And the 5 has the most speed, though, followed by the 1 and the 3, I think.
Yeah,
or
those
4.
3, 4.
1
Yeah, they
and
look
4,
a little bit quicker than the rest.
And then the 7 shows an overlay of about from just over even money to 4 to 1. That's about the only overlay I see. Par numbers of 7, 4, and 2 have the best par numbers. And then all but the 3 and 6 show some decent C zones.
Yeah, so it should be a pretty comfortable race for especially the 1. Big Boy's answer with that top C zone. Should really enjoy the pace today. As far as the pace is set up, look at this, Terry. That 5 horse over there, North Pole, Lone E. Everybody else wants to be middle back. That one gets to the front. North Pole could be really dangerous. Does look like it has a little bit of an edge over everybody else in here. Those Lone E's get to the lead. They get really courageous. They become the lion after pulling the veil back. Dance a Dinny, that 7 horse, the closer, a little bit better than everybody else in terms of late speed here, Terry, but really not going to be all that far off the pace against this crew. Our top total pace horse is that 7. The 7, the 1, and the 4, they're considerably better than the rest of the field. So if you like total pace, those 3 horses could make a nice exacta or trifecta box, Terry. You have some of them in your picks.
Yeah, I like the 4 Russ Center. He finished 3rd versus Tupper in his last race. Drops in class today. Has a a trainer who wins 17% of the starts, and he also has a jockey, which is Paco Lopez, which is a high percentage winning jockey right now. And then he's number 2, Jeeper is my second choice, finished 3rd versus Similar in his last race and switches to high percentage winning jockey. Dance Denny is a 7, my 3rd choice, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. North Pole, the 5 that you were talking about. He ran 2nd versus Similar in his last race and has the highest last speed rating. He's my long shot. No bet for me in this race.
I'm going to start off with the 7 horse there, Dance a Dinny. It is your simulation favorite by far, the best par plus score in there. Top 5 in terms of late pace, has a little bit of edge over everybody else. And as we saw in the race shape, shouldn't be too far off the pace here. So I think the 7 sits off a couple of leaders, and as they come around the turn, turns on the jets and brings it on home. Rush Center, the 4-horse, your top pick is my second choice. Class Dropper, last time out, ran about a second faster than it did in its previous race. I like to see that. I also like to see Paco Lopez riding any horse at Parx. He wins a bunch. Number 1, Big Boy's Answer, just missed when it ran at this level 2 races ago. A repeat of that race would win here, Terry. It does have a maintenance workout between starts. And then finally, number 2, Jeeper. That's my final choice in race number 3. Probably the most back class in this field, Terry. Showed improvement in its last. It's going to make the 3rd start after a layoff. When you rewind through previous 3 race cycles, the 3rd was by far the best the last time the horse ran 3 races without a break. Trifecta 1, 4, 7, over the 4, 7, over the 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7. Before we go on to race number 4, Terry, let's kind of clean up race number 1.
Okay.
The 8-7 exacta paid $30.90. The trifecta paid $69.60 for 50 cents, Terry.
Yeah.
And if you had the 4-horse and the superfecta for a dime, $172.34.
Wow, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, where can you turn a dime into $172.34, Terry?
Nowhere that I know of.
Yeah, certainly not at the bank. Well, the way inflation's going, though, that might change one day.
It could, yeah.
Yes, indeed. Race 4, Terry, is next on our docket in a 10-race card. What's the criteria here?
It's a 7 furlong race, optional claiming race, a $16,000 claiming price with a purse of $25,000 for fillies and mares 4 years and upward, which have started from $16,000 or less, and which have never won 2 races, or claiming price of $16,000, or which have never won 2 races.
I wonder what the difference is between Monday and Tuesday, because yesterday they didn't repeat that, like the never won 2 races thing. And then on Tuesday, and on the radio, a lot of time they have 2 for Tuesday. So maybe that's the reason why.
Well,
7 furlongs.
Yeah.
Tactical speed. Go ahead.
I was just going to say it might be whoever writes the conditions for this might be a different person.
Yeah, on Tuesday, right? They get a different person. That could be that too. 7 furlongs, again, you want to have horses that have tactical speed in here, Terry, but this does have the most dominant rail bias, or not rail bias, but post position bias is a really obvious and strong inside to outside bias. So if you're trying to flip a coin between, say, the 1-horse and the 8-horse, you're going to go with the inside bias there, Terry. So we're looking for some inside speed in race number 4, Terry, and that's where you're going to find almost all of it. Although everybody does have a chance.
That's true. So you can see there that 2, 3, and 4 have a lot of speed compared to the rest of the field. And the outside horse 8 shows a little bit of speed. The 2 is an overlay of about 4 to 5 to 5 to 2. And the 3 is an overlay from 2 to 1 to 7 to 2. As far as the par numbers go, 2 and 3 are the only par numbers. All of them but the 3 show pretty decent C zones.
So based upon this 3 sets of numbers, it looks like you just put the 2 to 3 together in a box, call it a day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. And we've seen way too many times, though, Terry, that not play out, right? This is a race where you have a couple that want to be up front, 6 of the 8 middle back. So it should favor the 2 from those 2 horses that we talked about, of those horses with the strong C zone and strong par plus numbers. Divine Grace about a half a length faster than everybody else, with the 1 being very slow out of the gate. No reason why the 2 or the 3 shouldn't push forward right away. Late speed, you do find the 2, once again, has the most late speed. So it could be a case of you can't catch what you can't pass, Terry. And then finally, your top total pace horse, that 2 horse, stays on top there. 7 points clear of the next closest horse, 11 points clear of the 3rd horse. Really looks to me like this is the 2 horses race to win, Terry. What do you think?
Well, I like the 3 as my top pick. I think it's going to beat that 2 because the 3 finished 3rd versus similar in her last race, switches to high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 2, Divine Grace, ran 2nd versus similar in her last race. Her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. She has a trainer jockey combination who in the last 14 days have won 2 out of 5 starts. She's my second choice. And then the 6 is my third choice, won her last race at Parx Racing, has a high percentage winning trainer jockey. The 1 is my long shot. She won her last race of Parx Racing. And the rail post is winning 19% clip. I'm going to bet a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to use the 2-3 with a 4-10, with a 1-5-7-8, with the 4-11.
Yeah, I felt like the card really after here starts to get pretty much really wide open. So I really pared down my pick 4s because I think there'll be some upsets. And then if not, we handicap it right, then no worries. I'm going to start with the 2 horse instead of the 3, just a little bit different order. I think they are, as our simulations say, the 2 horses to beat here. Divine Grace has that top total pace edge, does have the top par plus number, likely pace setter. Extra furlong today, I think, works to Divine Grace's advantage. If not, true phenomenon. That horse will make it difficult. At Parx, 9 races, 1 win, 4 seconds. That's why I put it second. Looks to me like a horse that might like to hang a little bit. Paco Lopez getting on the mount today, though, will make sure that horse gets every chance to get to the finish line because if the 2's out there, Paco will try to run it down. Did run a Z pattern last time out, so early pace number here, mid pace, a little bit of a breather, and then caught its second wind as it came home for the finish line. It does have a maintenance work to keep the saw sharp between races. Gryphon's Wings, the 5 horse, or Griffin's Wings, something like that, is taking the class drop after running much better fractions last time out. Terry, especially early on, indication of a horse coming into form. And then finally, the Archer or the Prey. Ooh. Top last race speed figure, Terry, in the maiden claiming win. So that's the time you can consider the top last race speed figure out of a maiden race. But it took 13 races to win the first one. I think it's kind of tough to go back to back, although horse has a shot to be better in the second start after a layoff. I'm going to start my pick 4 with the 2 horses that look like the obvious choices on paper, 1, 9, 10 with the 6, 8. And I'm just going to close it out with a single in the back, Terry.
All right.
Race number 5 is next for you and me, my friend. Tell us what it's about.
All right. So race number 5 is a 7 furlong race. It's a claiming race, $7,500 claiming price. Purse $21,000 for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 2 races.
Now, just a couple of days ago, these horses were 3 years old, right? Terry, is January 1st the rollover date?
That's it.
Yeah. So, all right, they're all celebrating a birthday. They all should be pumped up, Terry. I like at 7 furlongs, again, tactical speed does well. Again, that inside bias is really not overwhelming, but very, very obvious. So you want to be on the inside. You want to be speed if that's the way, that's the best chance to win, Terry. Bunch of scratches here. Doesn't look like it really impacts the early speed, though. And again, we find a field full of plenty of them that have a chance to get to the front.
Yeah, there's several of them that have some speed. That 4 and 2 and then 10 show the most speed. And then 9 is got a small overlay of about 4.5 to 1 to 5 to 1. And the 10 has an overlay which is about 8 to 5 to 3 to 1. Par numbers 10 and 9 are the only 2 that have any par numbers at all, with the 10 having the best. And all of them but the 3 and 8 show pretty decent C-zone numbers.
Yeah, again, just looking at the simulations, you got the 9 and 10 pretty much filling up every column, and then the 4 horse filling up 2 out of 3 columns. Interestingly, both of us have all 3 of those horses in there. Our race shape, look at that, Terry. You got a bunch of that want to be on the front, everybody middle back. So you got a pair. The 3 horse in here, Colette Spirit, not within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line. So maybe you can shorten the field by 1 more, add another scratch, even though the horse is in the race. A lot of times these horses that are Sesame Street horses by themselves relative to everybody else, they get good trips. So keep an eye on those 9 and the 8. You better double check them. Early on, we do see, much like the simulation show, Terry, any horse really can get to the lead. It does look like the 2 having the inside position should get the jump on the field, Terry, although going to have to find some stamina late to make up for that red right there. Looks like Wicked Lady does have a pretty aggressive late speed advantage. So from a trip standpoint, just looking at this, should sit right where it wants to sit, behind all the speed, has a pretty good late race advantage over the 8, which is the other closer. So just from this picture, it looks like this is the 9 horses should get a perfect trip, and does have a 6 point, so a little bit better than a length total pace advantage over everybody else, Terry. from that standpoint, it looks like it's the 9's race to win. You think the 4 is going to take it out.
Yep, River City Rocker. She won her last race at Colonial Downs, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then I like the 10 as my second choice, finished 5th versus similar last race, but has a trainer wins 31% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again and has a high percentage winning jockey. 11 is my third pick, ran third versus similar her last race, and this trainer jockey combination in the last 14 days have been in the money 3 out of 5 starts with 2 wins. Number 9, the one you talked about there, is my long shot, Wicked Lady. She has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. No bet in this race for me.
You could tell a little bit of story with the 9, 10, and 11. So just in your order, Terry, you have the 10. She's appealing to the eye, that Bruno Barber girl. But boy, is she a wicked lady. I like the 9 horse in there, the Wicked Lady, as my top pick. She does have that total 6-point total pace advantage over everybody else. As we talked about in the race shape, should sit behind the speed, get a perfect trip, and then use those late legs to carry it home. Appealing to the eye is your simulation favorite there, Terry, as you mentioned, going off at about 8-5, and does have the top par plus by a pretty good margin over everybody else. So the one that's most likely to run above par. The 4 horse is a track dropper in here, Terry. It's been off since August. It did go wire to wire in that win at Colonial Downs, as you mentioned, Terry. The only reason I did not put it any higher is because when you look at the fractions, it went wire to wire, but really didn't get challenged early on. The slow fractions, slow pace numbers. So I think it'll have to work a little harder to get to the front today. And then the 11 horse, that's the last call for me, Terry. Sits on the outside, should get a pretty good trip in here as well, Terry, and does have the strongest, or at least tie for the strongest season. Should be very comfortable. It was a tough call over the 8 for me. I'm going to do a trifecta 1. I don't have the 1 in here. It's going to be 4, 9, 10. Sorry, because we had a little. This is one of those races with the late scratch. So 4, 9, 10 with the 9, 10 with the 1. There's no 1 in there. So it's going to be 4, 9, 10, 11, and 8. So this is where we have the beauty of using Google Sheets, Terry.
That's it.
All right, so there's my trifecta for race number 5. I think race number 2 is pretty close to kicking off, right?
Yeah, it's right now it's 0 minutes to post, so it must be getting loaded right now.
Yeah, they're actually loading into the gates right now. So today you and I are having pretty good timing, Terry.
Absolutely.
So at the moment, it looks like the 7 horse in race number 2 is your favorite, Vileski. Both of us have it in the pick 4. The 1 horse, the 4 horse is your second choice right now, Terry. Lots of mischief. That one is 5-2. Next up on the board is the 1 horse, Bearable. So you and I would both like the 1 horse to kick off the pick 4.
That's right.
And then I have the 5 horse. I know you don't want Brass Monkey to come home, but he's 8-1. Everybody else, Terry, is over 10-1.
Wow.
Yeah. So you got a 2-1 favorite, wide open betting race again. I thought this card was going to be pretty contentious from start to finish, Terry. What were your thoughts when you were handicapping?
Yeah, it is a very wide open race as far as I'm concerned. It's you just never know what's going to happen in here. So there's plenty of speed to get to the front there, and then you may just have a closer that comes and gets them. So.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, it looks like they're all just about in the gates right now because the camera has gone from behind to the front. The starters are all in there. The assistant starters are in the gates as well. And it looks like any second they'll press the button, and they do. 6 horse, and it looks like the 8 horse, Terry, getting off to a little bit of a funky start. Pretty aggressive run for the front right now, Terry. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 horses competing for the lead. Right now, it looks like on the outside, is that the 10 horse, Terry? Tough to tell. Yeah, it looks like the 10 horse has gotten to the lead. Milagro. That one is, the 10 getting the lead at 17-1. Milagroso, got a whole host of horses chasing behind it, though, with some aggressiveness, Terry. The 6 horse is in second right now. The 2 horse down on the rail. Looks like a lot of folks got to do some work to catch up to this pack there, Terry.
Sounds like
5 horse at 11-1 is where? The 2 horses out there. Here they come down the stretch, Terry. Pretty tough to tell who's going to do what right now. Looks like that 10 horse is going to maintain the lead, though. The 7 horse right now is rolling on the outside, but I don't know if he's going to have enough to catch the 10. It's going to be pretty close at the wire. I think he is going to go right by him at the end. It's going to go, I don't know. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. Nope. The miracle won. 10, 7, and then 6.
Wow, nice long shot.
Yeah, the 10 horse is right in there. Milagroso. But if you look at it, Terry, I mean, there's reason to play the 10.
Yeah.
Right? 8-1 morning line, right? So from a morning line standpoint, the 10 horse was an overlay at 17-1. Our simulation odds were 5.5-1. And the horse was the third best chance to get a par plus number. I think he probably did today. And let's look over here and see where did the 10 grade out in the and he was in here. I mean, in the mix, at the bottom of the mix, but still one of the top 5 contenders in there. So just from a value standpoint, looking at our simulation odds, that was the horse to play.
That's right. Yep.
And unfortunately, guess what? Neither one of us did.
Nope. We sure did.
No. So what are we off to now, Terry? Race 6 or 7?
Race 6.
All right, fantastic. Let's go ahead and knock that one out, Terry. What's happening here?
Okay, in race 6, it's a mile and 16th, and it's a $10,000 claiming race. First 26,000 for 4-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since October 2nd. Claiming races for 8,000 or less not considered, and which have never won 4 races. So,
you know, Terry, I mean, that's something like if we were at the track and we saw that the discrepancy between the 10 and that's a horse you probably put a few dollars on just to win, just in case, right?
Yeah.
So at a mile and a 16th, the only time we've seen this distance today or yesterday, tactical speed does good. 29% of the time you get the lead, you stay on the lead and you get the big check. Small rail bonus for Secret Path. 2 and 3 get a bigger bonus than the 1 horse. 4 through 7, Terry, they get whacked. So be careful with those horses. And then 8 and out, they have the biggest bonus of all. Be fast, be on the inside, or be on the outside. And it looks like this race, the speed is on the inside or outside.
It is. It's the 3, 8, 9 that show all the speed here, really. And then the 3 has a small overlay. Well, it's about 5-1 to 6-1. And 8 has an overlay of about just over even money to 9-2. Par numbers 8, 2, and 7 have the decent par numbers along with the 1. And the 8, 7 have the most best C-zone numbers.
Okay, so just looking across the board here, the 8 horse, Terry, strong C-zone, going to be in contention, very good par plus score in there, overlay. Keep an eye on that 8 horse. Will the pace setup favor the 8 horse as well? Look, all bunched up in here, Terry. Really nobody wants to be the front runner. Somebody will be the front runner, and it looks like Senior Investment or Hefner, they have the best shot of being out front, although pretty much any of them have a shot to be there. Late speed coming home, Secret Path. The 1 horse is the strongest of the closers, though a whole bunch of them have pretty similar numbers in here. This looks like another race, Terry, that should be pretty contentious according to the total pace. Everybody within 12 points of one another. That means a misstep, a bump, a block could be the difference between finishing first or worst in an otherwise wide open race. We both agree the 8 horse has the best chance.
Yeah, Re-Rally finished in the money in 9 out of the last 10 races, winning 5 of those races, so likes to win. Number 5, Dust Devil, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and that combination has won 2 out of 3 starts in the last 14 days. Second choice. My third choice is a 7, won his last race at Parx Racing. Has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Secret Path, the 1 is my long shot. He won his last race at Parx Racing, has a really good workout on December 22nd. No bet for me here.
I agree with you on that 8 horse, Terry, up top. Re-Rally, 3 consecutive speed figure increases in a row. According to Barry Meadows, that is an alpha angle that wins at least 15%. The horse does win at Parx or Place, 4 races, 2 wins, 2 seconds. Really successful at a mile and a 16th, 8 races, 3 wins, 3 seconds, and a third. And then it does have the top par plus and C-zone score in there. Horn Beam did run the top last race speed figure, All of the race internals confirm that, as the pace numbers were better from beginning to end, and is your top total pace horse in here. The one horse, Secret Path, our good friend Trevor McCarthy coming in, I think for 2 mounts today. This is one of them, Terry. The horse ran a Z pattern last time out, and it's a closer. And I find that Trevor seems to fit better on horses that have late legs. Sermonti, 7 horse, gets the last call for me, Terry. Was a very tough call over your 5 horse, the Tough Devil, the Dust Devil, but did run a better par plus number, does have a better C-zone score, and Paco rides after the horse also improving all of the pace figures from start to end of its last race. I have a trifecta, 6-8 over the 1-6-8 over the 1-5-6-7 and 8 in race number 6. The late pick 4, Terry, starts in race number 7. Tell us all about what they're running for.
Yeah, this is another 7 furlong race, and it's a claiming race, a $7,500 claiming price with a purse of $21,000 for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 4 races.
And they only needed to say never win 4 races one time, Terry.
That's right.
Must be another writer. At 7 furlongs, like we talked about, tactical speed, the most obvious bias is that you want to have an inside horse over the outside horse, because the inside does definitely better, Terry. In race number 7, do we have any inside speed? We did. Cup of Life, but he took the day off. So
yeah,
that honor goes elsewhere.
That's right. The 8 has the most speed, as you can see, along with the 10. And then the 4 has a small overlay of about 5-2 to 9-2. The 11 has a nice overlay of like 7-5 to 7-2. The 1, 4, and 3 have the best C-zone numbers. I mean, par numbers, and all but the 1 and 3 showed really good C-zone numbers.
Yeah, you got a lot of dark green in here. So a couple of them with multiple green. That 11, big overlay, strong chance to go par plus. Maybe okay on the C-zone score there. You got more ransom over here, strong C-zone. Very likely to go par above, and another overlay. So 4 and 11 looking good on the simulations. Do they look good in the pace setup? Well, the 11 has the PC, so a very versatile horse along with the 8. The 6 horse in here, though, Zenatown, Terry. Lone E. This one wants the lead. Everybody else wants to be middle or back. Does the 6 get the lead? Does. A little bit of speed advantage over some other horses in here. And the good news for the 6 is, except for the 4, all the other horses with speed are to the outside. So good shot for the 6 to horse. Pop out of the gates. Get to the lead. Could grow in confidence out there, Terry. If it starts to fade, that PC horse, the 11, ratified, along with more ransom. Those 2 have the most late speed. And if we group it all together, Terry, we do find the 11 and the 4, they're 5 points clear minimally over the rest of the field. So the 11 and 4 should finish at the wire, nose to nose. A little bit of everybody else kind of battling for third. Simulations say the 11-4 look best. Total pace says the 11-4 looks best. We think they look best, but we just reversed the order.
Well, I like the 11 as my top pick of the day.
She remember yesterday, Terry. Tell us about that.
Well, yesterday my top pick won and paid $10.20. So out of the
last for $18.
That's right, I did. Would have been more if I had more budget. I would have bet more on it, but
yeah, blame me for that.
Yeah, but anyway, Ratified won 2 races in a row. Is going for a hat trick now, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. 4 more ransom is my second choice. She ran second in her last race, has the highest last speed rating, and a trainer wins 19% of the claiming races he has a horse in. Lulu's Dancer is my third pick. She's the 7 horse. She ran second versus 7 in her last race, has the best start speed among today's starters. The 8 is my long shot, Vanishing Faith. She has a trainer wins 19% of the claiming races he has a horse in. I'm going to bet $20 to win on the 11, and I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4 with the 4, 11, with the 5, 6, 8, 10, 11, single a 1 in the 9th, and then the 2, 6, 7 in the finish.
Well, we have no chance to hit double pick 4s there because I don't have the 1 in my 9th race. You solo that bad boy up. Interesting that you put 20 to win on the 11, but the single is the 1, Terry.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is interesting, but
well, I probably a shorter field, a little bit more, a lot more horses in this race. I'm looking at the 11, the 4 horse. The only reason I picked the 4 over the 11, Terry, because the distance here is 7 furlongs, and the inside horses have the advantage on the outside horses. Did run the top last race, speed figure 2, Terry, by 6 points clear of the next closest horse. I think that's the biggest speed figure discrepancy on the day. Faster fractions last time out, confirmed by better pace numbers as well. The 11 horse is ratified, is your simulation favorite in here, Terry. Top par plus top pace, total pace horse in this race. Lots of reasons to think this horse will win. Just the outside post, I think, works against it. Luna T doesn't have to me, the 3 and the 9, Luna T and the 9 are both essentially the same horse. I went ahead and ranked the 3 in front of the 9 simply because the post advantage of inside versus outside. Pick 4 for me, the 3, the 4, and the 11, Terry, over to 3-8, over to 2-5, over to 2-6. I think with all these horses, just about anything can happen in the back half of the card, so I didn't want to commit a lot of money to it and hope that, my handicapping's right and still manage to hit the pick 4. 3 races to go. That means next up for you and me is race number 8.
That's right. And this race is a 6.5 furlong, $7,500 claiming race, $21,000 purse for 4-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 3 races.
Going to upcoming to race number 3, our good friend Christopher D'Souza joins us, says he likes the 5 horse to win and place with the 9. So pretty tight bet there from Christopher, the 5-9 exact the box. Remember that race number 3 coming up in just a few minutes. Race 8, as you mentioned, Terry, 6.5 furlongs. It's one of 2 races in a row, I think, that are 6.5 furlongs. The profile of a winner does favor early speed. Almost 1 out of 3 horses does go wire to wire. Small inside advantage for post 1, 2, and 3. Small penalty for 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then again, a small bonus if you wear the 8 or the outside. So no deal makers or breakers post position wise, Terry. But again, speed should play a key role in a lot of horses, again, with some opportunity to get to the front.
Yeah, several of them have it, but the 9 and the 2 show the most speed. The 1 shows an overlay of about 9-1 to 12-1. 3 shows an overlay of about 7-5 to 8-1. The 8 shows an overlay of about almost 3-1 to 4 to 9-2. And then the 11, which is now, 11 is 6.5 to 1 to, I can't see what,
15 to 1.
15 to 1, which is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then the par number 3 is the best par number, along with the 8 have some. Most of them have good C zones, but the 3, 7, 8, and 11.
Yeah, you just kind of take a look at all this stuff, Terry. Again, another race. Even look at the morning line odds. Favorite is what, 4 to 5. Even the morning line maker just has no idea what to do. So probably just randomly picked out some odds and assigned them to a horse. Maybe we can get a clue or a little bit of an edge in race number 8 by looking at the race shape. Does look like it could favor early speed with the 9, 2, and 3 being pilots or co-pilots. Everybody else, middle or back. Although this group of horses right here, the PC types, they do have flexibility. So if these 3 go too slow, they'll push forward. If they go too fast, they'll be patient. We saw in the simulations a whole lot of horses with a chance to be up front. We see that with the pace numbers, although the 2 and the 5 look a tick quicker than the 7 or the 9. Late speed belongs to the 11 horse, Omerta Co. 9 points clear of everybody else, but this is a deep red, Terry. That horse is probably going to be dead last, 8, 9 lengths off the lead, so they're going to have to hope that everybody goes way too fast. Total pace, looks like we have a pretty competitive race in here, Terry. Maybe, except for the 14, but that one's also eligible. So you always got to be careful with those AE horses, Terry, because there's a reason the trainers want those horses in the race. All right, wide open race, Terry. I think we agree on 1 horse.
Yeah, you're right. It is a really wide open race. I think the most wide open of the day. Yeah, number 10 is my first pick. Chip's Friend won 2 out of the last 4 races, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Golden Wildcat is the 6. He won his last race at Parx Racing, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 5 is my third pick, finishing the money in 4 out of 7 career races, won 2 of those races. And the 11 is my long shot switch, is a high percentage winning jockey and a trainer who wins 23% of the races when taking a horse from a sprint to a route to a sprint. No bet for me in this race.
I'm going to start with the 8-horse, Terry, and that one is Modern Midas. 3 consecutive speed figure increases. Again, that is a alpha angle. Barry Meadows says so in all of his studies. Wins at 15% or more. Did finish in the top last race speed figure, meeting Andrew Byers' criteria of 3 points higher than the next closest horse. Getting an extra furlong today, Terry, I think is a difference maker for Modern Midas. Eddie Mush, the 3-horse, should be close to the front with this pack, Terry, in a field that tilts towards the middle and back. Is our top total pace horse, the simulation favorite as well, and the top par plus. Lots of reasons from all of our statistical analysis to like the 3-horse. Chip's Friend, the only horse you and I agree on in this set, Terry, should be closing. And we know for sure that going from 6 furlongs in its last race to 6.5 furlongs is a right distance for the horse, because 2 races ago, Chip's Friend won at 6.5 furlongs. And then the 9-horse up for parole, that's Charles. He is the lone E-horse in here. So if he gets to the lead, look out. Could have a good shot. And the longer this horse has the lead, the more courageous it gets. And it has a decent chance to be up on that lead today, Terry. Trifecta 3-8, 3-8, 10 with the 3-8, 9, 10. And I'm going to toss that 14 in there again, because I feel like trainers want to put those AE horses in there for a reason. What's going on, Ridihi? How are you today? Thanks for joining us. Let's go to race number 9, Terry, as we go towards the end of this card with the beginning leg of the late double.
Yep, second race in a row at 6.5 furlongs, claiming price of $25,000, purse $32,000 for 4-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since October 2nd. Claiming races for $16,000 or less are not considered, and which have never won 4 races.
And again, at 6.5 furlongs, speed wins 32% of the time. It gets gate to the wire to get that photo. Inside 3, get a little bit of a small bonus. 4 through 7, a little bit of small penalty. 8 and out, a little bit of a small bonus. So preferably inside speed or outside speed, Terry. And, well, looks like one of them carries almost all the speed.
Yeah, that's right. That 7 shows really pretty good speed. The overlays, the 2 has an overlay of almost 3-1 to 5, or 12-1. The 7 has an overlay of, look at that, 5-2 to 10-1. The 8 has an overlay of about 10-1 to 12-1, and the 10 shows an overlay of 3-1 to 6 to 10-1. You might just want to take all those overlays and box them for the trifecta and exacta. So anyway,
it sounds like a lot of mispriced horses.
That's right. The 7 and 2 and 10 are the only ones with par numbers. All of them but the 3, 8, and 9 show pretty darn decent C zones.
Yeah, you mentioned those overlays. Look, you got strong par plus, strong C zone. Where's another overlay in here?
Well,
look at this one's green across the board. The 7
yeah.
horse. Yeah, we've seen this one a lot.
Yep.
And then that 10 horse, the same way, Terry. Yeah.
That's right.
I see if we get some similar advantages in the race shape. A pretty balanced race. 1 horse in here, the 5-horse Terry Gabe, the lone EP type. So look out for those horses. They might not look the best on paper, but strategically they have a lot of versatility in races like this. But most of the race, again, middle back, should favor horses that get towards the front. Not surprising at Parx. Trader's Luck, that 7-horse, one of those overlays, Terry, about 3/4 of a length quicker than the next closest horse. Looks like he has some decent late speed in there too, Terry. Although Mr. Roundtree, the closer, having the most, going to probably be 5-6 lengths off the lead though, Terry. Going to have to wiggle through a lot of traffic. Going to have to get a clean trip to take advantage of that. Top total pace, look at this, Terry. From top to bottom, only a 7-point difference. This is the all button. Maybe the 5-horse is the only one that doesn't fit in, but anytime we say that, especially for a lone EP, you can back up the bus. That one will be your winner. Who's your winner?
Well, I like the 1 Dixie 2 Stints. He ran second versus Simmer in his last race. Has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 6 Quick Return second choice. Finished in the money in 5 out of the last 6 races, winning 1 of the races, and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 3, Legal Deals, my 3rd choice, has a high percentage winning trainer, switches a high percentage winning jockey, and his best start speed is fast as among today's starters. The 9, Mr. Roundtree, is my long shot, finished 3rd versus Tougher in his last race. He drops in class today, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to bet $10 to win on the 1, and then I'm going to do a $1 double from the 1 to the 2, 6, 7, 10, and 11.
So our
And
good friend
3.
Scary Creations, going back to race number 8, says, take a look at that 11 horse Paco's on there. Not sure if 15-1 is good enough to win, but certainly know a Paco is going to get a good enough trip to win. Looking at Christopher D'Souza in this race, he likes the 9 horse Mr. Roundtree with the 1, Dixie's 2 cents, and the 5, Gabe as your exacta trifecta box. Omaha Code, Omar Takirte in race 8. I like the, it's funny, Terry, is, well, we'll get to this in a second. I got the 2 horse on top of my picks here. Enforcer ran the top last race, speed figure 4 points clear of the next closest horse. 12-1, why not? Strong par plus, why not? Last time out, the horse, all of its pace numbers were better than the prior start and just made a ginormous mid-move. If it makes that same mid-move today, that horse will live up to our simulation odds. That 5 horse Gabe, the one I said had no chance in hell, Terry, well, maybe it does. Mashed the field with ease. The only time the horse raced at Parx, that was the last time out after coming in predominantly from the NYRA circuit. This one does have a pair of maintenance workout since that demolition of Parx types, and Paco's going to ride on that lone EP horse. 6, Quick Return is the other horse today that Trevor McCarthy is going to ride. Once again, a closer in here, Terry, with the extra half furlong today to work to Trevor's benefit. At Parx, 6 times out, 1 win, 4 thirds. So 4 thirds in 6 races, he's sticking in third, Terry. Also likes the distance, 5 times out with a win in 3 thirds. And then finally, Dixie's 2 cents, Jamie Ness and Frankie Pennington, really good combination. It was a tough call for me over that 7 horse with all that early speed in here, Terry. But last time out, the 1 horse did run down the 7 at 6 furlongs. So there's no reason to think it won't run it down again at 6.5 furlongs. You singled and then went a lot in the back half of your daily double. I went all up front and then went 2 in the back half. So completely opposite strategies on the late double, Terry.
That's right. Yep.
And then we're going to find out why that is in race number 10, Terry, the last race of the day.
All right. So this last race is a 7 furlong race, and it's a $5,000 claiming race with a purse of $18,000 for fillies and mares 4-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since July 2nd.
And then going back to that last race, Scary Creations absolutely loves the 5 horse Gabe and the 2 Enforcer, a hefty exacta coming. I hope you're right, because I'm in on that, and I think they're in my pick 4 as well. 7 furlongs again. Tactical speed is the way to win, Terry. A bunch go wire to wire, but the most important bias of it is inside does a lot better than outside. Inside speed in race number 10 could find the winner circle, Terry, and one of them is much, much quicker than the rest.
That's right. That 2 has lots and lots of speed. And then the 1 has an overlay from almost 10-1 to 20-1. The 2 has an overlay from about 8-5 to 5-1. Par numbers is 6, 2, and 1 show par numbers. And then the all of them, but the 3, 6, and 12 have really pretty nice C zones.
Look at this Take Charge Erica. Again, we point this out show after show. But top C zone, really strong chance to be on the lead, Terry. High par plus number, overlay. This combination right here, where a horse gets to the lead and has a dominant, perhaps early lead advantage and is comfortable up there, they win a lot. And see if we have that same edge here. Well, this is an interesting race, Terry. The 12 horse, Oui Madame, not within 5 lengths of the winner at the finish line. So maybe you can X that one off your list. Otherwise, you got a barbell race. 4 up front, 4 in the back. So if you like speed, then it does look like, Terry, Take Charge Erica, a little bit quicker than Glory Dia. Those 2 are about a length quicker than the 1 and the 5 and even more fast than Starship Blanca. So if you want speed, the 6 horse, Terry, that is a closer with that speed. So a left arrow horse in there, although it does look like Frame This has the most late speed. But Take Charge Erica, that 2 horse, does have second most late speed. 6 kind of tails off a little bit there. And then your total pace, Terry, the 2 and the 6, considerably better than the rest of the field. So this looks like a 2-6 exacta. Those 2 get up in the front. They run around the track 1-2 all the way. We reverse the order.
That's right. I like the number 2 Take Charge Erica as my first choice. Ran second versus similar last race and received the highest last race speed rating. Has a high percentage winning jockey. Glory Dia, The 6 is my second choice, drops in class today. Her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. She has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. And then Starship Blanca is the 7, my third choice, finished 5th in her last race as a favorite, but she has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 24% of the time when bringing beaten favorites back to race again, and a high percentage winning jockey. And then number 10, Carly Hustle, is my long shot. She has done well at today's distance. I'm out of money, so no bet for me.
So you want the 10 or the 11? Because you have the 11 in there. So
yeah, I'm sorry. I want the 10.
All right, well, we fixed that right there. Boom, look at that. How amazing is that? Real quick, because race 3 is about to start. I have Glory Dia, class drop, maintenance work, top par plus. Take charge, Erica, sim favorite, strong chance to be the pace setter in here. Terry, been off since late September. Would like to see a better work in there. Anginetti, last race better than it looks, 2 seconds faster, gets another furlong today. And then the 4 horse, we'll close it out with a long shot in there, Terry, see if it can fatten up my trifecta. 256 over to 256, over to 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. Our friend in here, Scary Creation, says in that race here, the 6 horse Glory Dia has this field over a barrel, wins for fun for Mr. Ness. Race 3 is coming up right now, so we're about to go take a look at that. And then in race 10, the 11, win, place, and show with the 1 and the 2. And they're off in race number 3, Terry. And according to, let me see, I just accidentally clicked out of what I can see for the race. I can't show it up on the TV. Right now, the 1 horse in race number 3, Big Boy's Answer, is being a big boy early on. That one is the leader. A whole bunch of horses to the outside. Does look like the 7 horse is kind of fed up with the 1 horse being on the lead. So it's come up in there and put some contention on that. You got the 4 horse in third right now with the 1 and the 5, up on the front. So the 5 horse up in there. North Pole decided to become a part of the action. The 4 in third. The 7 just kind of rating outside the 4. As they come through the turn, the 1 horse is going to start to pull away a little bit from the 5 horse. Looks like, everybody's kind of bunching back up again a little bit. The 5 horse got a second winner. The 1 horse slow down a little. The jockey's really got a lot of action on that 5 horse. He's bouncing up and down. The 1 horse continues to hold the lead. The 3 horse is trying to mingle in there. That 7 horse, Terry, looks like it's about done for the day. The 3 horse is continuing to be on the outside. The 4 horse now is trying to make its move, Terry. 5 horse still kind of lumbering around in second as they come around the turn. The 1 horse continues to be the leader. It looks like the 2 horse on the rail, Terry, is going to make a move. The 3 horse on the outside. The 1 horse just is stubbornly staying up on front there, Terry. I don't know if he's going to give up the lead or the 3 horse is going to run by him at the end. It looks to me like it's going to be at the finish line, Terry. It's going to be 1-3-2-4. 1-3-2-4. 1 horse, Big Boy's Answer, does answer the call right there, Terry. But neither one of us has the exact or trifecta or nothing to go with that one.
Nope, sure don't.
So the 1 horse, let's take a look at them. Pretty much fair odds right there. 1 horse went off of 5-1. Did have a good shot to be a par plus horse in there, Terry. Top C-zone horse in the field was the pace setter in here. In race number 3, we also see that it was the second best in terms of total pace. This total pace is, so I go through the numbers and every day kind of record what's happened. You see a lot of good things in here. So race number 3, Christopher, let's see. I know you came in here with race 3 early on. 5-9 exacta. Unfortunately, the 1 horse kind of screwed all that up for all of us.
Yeah.
All right, Terry, you and I will be back tomorrow, my friend. We are going to do Tampa Bay Downs, which we do on Wednesdays. On Thursdays, Charles should return. We'll go ahead and do Gulfstream Park. I think Tom and I will return for Foreign Fridays for the first time this year. Not quite sure what we'll do, but Tom will let us know. And to find out where Foreign Fridays will be, Terry, what should people do?
Yeah, you should subscribe to YouTube, hit that little bell. That'll tell you about all our different shows, when they're coming, and then share it with your relatives and friends and loved ones so that they can too enjoy our show by clicking on the little link down at the bottom and sending it to them. Give us a likes and thumbs up there. Go to our social sites such as X, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and Threads, and give us a thumbs up there and a like. It really helps us out with our algorithms. So,
And yes, and while you're on YouTube, kindly hit that share button and share our content with all your friends, no matter how you communicate, no matter what social sites that you use. course, again, we'll be back tomorrow. Only 2 cards today, Mahoning and Parx. So good luck wherever it is that you're betting today. No matter what it is you're doing for the rest of this day, Terry, this terrific Terry trifecta Tuesday with a very contentious Parx card. I think if you can hit 2 or 3 races along the way, you're probably going to turn a profit. There should be a lot of nice odds today, Terry. But whether you hit long shots, you hit short shots, whether you're trying to get a promotion or you're happy where you are, we hope that in 2024, you get all of God's grace, all of God's favor, and every single thing you do ends up
in the winner's circle.
Yes, again, thanks for joining us on this terrific Terry Tuesday. We both look forward to sharing time again tomorrow. Have a great day.